Halo semuanya, selamat datang di channel Guvir Sport.
Oh my goodness. Oh, man, it reminded me why I don't do it anymore.
Wow.
Right? I mean, those guys are just on a different level, right? So you had Islam there. He was getting ready to fight. It was supposed to be Armin, but Armin, hurt his back. And then you had Umar Nurmagomedov there. Then you had Kazimov there. You had so many of their teammates there. You know, silver medalist in wrestling. Then you had, Muay Thai champion. Then you had Khabib there. And just going through the drills and seeing those guys doing what they do. And that was the night session. They sparred that morning. So that was a night session, and we trained. And what Islam was doing was like kind of like a strength and conditioning, kind of like just moving around, getting his heart rate up, using some strength training. And we did that for like maybe, I think, 6 rounds. And then after that, he went over to hit pads, and that's when Khabib put me through the grinder. Like, you go with this guy, you go with this guy. You have to. You're a guest. You do what I tell you. And I'm like, all right. And then after that, I think we drilled after that. And then the next day, they came back, and it was even a longer grind session. I'm like, you guys do this every single day? He goes, yes, brother, for 8 weeks. Sacrifices. You want to be the best? I'm like, nah, I don't want to be the best. I'm done with that shit. Y'all can have it. But just to experience it, and seeing what the best pound for pound fighter in the world feels like, and he hit me with that Darce 2 times. It was fun, man. I'm at this point in my career where it's like, I just want to train with different athletes who are the best in the world and enjoy it, and not try to compete with them, but try to connect with them. Because I feel like our sport in mixed martial arts is always about, I was with Islam and I beat him, or I gave Islam a hard time. I was like, man, I got an opportunity to grapple one of the best in the world, and it was a great experience. So
what do you think? I mean, it makes it, the way you're making it sound, they obviously are training hard. They have a good team, a lot of tough guys. But is there anything else that you notice that they do that kind of differentiates them from what you've typically seen with some guys in their training and stuff?
Honestly, it's hard. I think, you know what? Yes, there is something that I saw that was different from that I've seen in my travels. Is you had somebody who at one point in time was the best in the world, being Khabib, run the practices, right? Like, typically when you have a gym like that, or even my gym, my head coach was Matt Hume. You look at your coach, America Top Team, you have Mike Brown. I feel like he's the biggest. You guys have like, Taco Alves, but I feel like Mike Brown's kind of like the guy who structures everything in America Top Team. I could be wrong, but you have somebody who's young, who's running the whole training session with Khabib. You have, Islam, he's on top of his game. You have Umar, he was getting ready to fight Merab, and whatever Khabib said, they did it. Where I've been in some camps where the fighter runs their camp, right? Like, you get there and I'm like, hey man, what are we doing today? What's the coach want us to do today? He goes, now I'm running, I want to do this today. And I'm like, should you be doing that? Like, aren't you the fighter, and the fighter should, let the coach take the reins? And that's what I felt like made me successful. Like, I showed up to the gym, Matt had out the game plan, and we always he was the horse trainer and I was a horse, and my job was to run, and he would put together the schedule and I would just fucking do that. And that's kind of like how I felt Khabib was running it when I was in Vegas with those guys, is that, hey guys, we're working on this, and he'll be like, hey man, that's not gonna work. Like, the guy's gonna react this way, so you got to do it this way. That was one thing I was pretty impressed by, is that they listened to what Khabib said, and nobody like said no. Everybody's like, yep, let's do it. Come on, let's go. Where you see a lot of guys who get to that level, they're like, nah, this is what I'm going to do. A lot of people don't have somebody oversee their training. Like, this is what this is what you need to do, and you're going to do it now.
Give them prayer hands, say what's up, America. Half of you should know me, right?